What up, everybody in here, man? Shout out to all two of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, this is episode 67 of Manifest Monday. Today we hitting it on a Tuesday because sometimes you got to pivot,
For
right?
sure.
Sometimes you got to pivot, man. But we still made it happen. We ain't missed a week in 67 weeks.
Bro, that's
So
insane.
67 weeks straight, man. That's wild, right? So today we got my man Diamond in the building. You see the crispy new setup that he got over there, man. We live, baby. Come on, man. And you got myself, Ramond. We should have Z here in a couple minutes, though, man. So um, let's get straight into it, man. So today we wanted to talk about how you can't win forever. You cannot be in that top white hot space forever, man. And to break that down a little bit more is like you cannot be the top dog in anything
Forever.
forever,
Right.
right? Everybody has a time and there's seasons for everything, man. So let's dive into that, man. Let's dive straight into it, man. What do you
I just want
consider like a top spot? What do you consider the top spot in something? Like what do you
I mean,
consider that?
I'm not even gonna go that far, right? I'm just gonna just talk about life overall, right? Just us right now. We are young. We're full of energy, vitality, and all that stuff, right? And sad thing is, we're not gonna be young forever.
It's the truth, man.
We're not going to be that man forever, right? That's gonna, with long life and all those things, man, they're going to reach the point that we're going to get old, right? And that's something too. You got to be mindful as you go through life. You got to be cognizant about that too, right? And I think it just gives you the opportunity for you to plan and be strategic about, oh, my time, knowing that, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be young forever, man. How can I position myself, right, as I'm older so I can be in a better position? Whether that might be physically, financially, whatever it might be. But those are things that we all should be thinking about, right? Because like whatever position you might be in, right? Like for example, we can talk about artists and celebrities. Back in the day, Ja Rule, right? Back in the day, they were the man when it comes to like music, hip hop. They were on top forever, right? Everyone knew Ja Rule's song, Ashanti, every one of them. But now fast forward 10, 15, 20 years later, they're not as relevant no more, right? So I feel like why if you didn't pivot, right? That's the only thing that you're depending on, like, oh, I'm the man. And now that it's taken away from you. How do you go about
Hmm.
navigating, trying to like find your identity again? I think that's what makes it hard sometimes. Because we are so tied in one identity and whenever that is taken away from us, sometimes it can be hard for us to like figure out what our purpose is, right? Because like people know me for this for so long. All I've been doing is music. All I've been doing is playing sports. Now that I'm older, I don't play sports no more. What do I do? How
Right.
do I go about finding that joy and passion in life again? And we can see that a lot, most often, bro. People like become depressed because now they don't have that passion. That they can really figure out what's important to them no more. So I think it's something that we all should know that whenever we're going through things, whenever we are at the top, we gotta like make sure we do something positive while we're there because that moment's not gonna be there forever.
Man,
That's
you
just
hit
kind
that
of like
on
my
the
take on
money, man.
that.
Now you hit that on the money, man. And in the wise words of the honorable um Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Damn, homie.
I
In high
mean,
school, you was a man,
man,
homie.
I mean, why the heck happened
Like,
to
and that's
you?
it,
I mean,
and that's really what it is. Is kind of like we have these peaks that I think that we hit. You know what I mean? And it's just it's natural too that there's no way you will be the top artist, like you said. You'll never be the top artist forever. You'll
right,
never be a Super Bowl champ forever. We always say that we have the Michael Jordan and LeBron GOAT debate and stuff like that.
right,
But the truth of it is whether if Michael Jordan's your GOAT, he's not playing in the finals this year,
facts,
right? It's time. Time will catch anybody.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Time
right,
you cannot be in that space forever. So I think it's really important to really cement your legacy while it's your
right,
time, because I know that has to be tough, Rand. You think about, like, for somebody to find what they feel like is their calling and their passion, right? Like their
right,
purpose, to find that thing, work all your life at it. I don't think, to be honest, most people don't know when they're in their prime and when not anymore.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean? It's like you just working and then you just get as good as you can get. And then at some point, whether it's like you get, you get older or, you know what I
Right.
mean, the game just passes you by, you're not in that same
Right.
space anymore. You're not in your prime. It's just like you are in your prime and you're not in your prime. And then, but I don't think it takes a while probably for somebody to even realize
Right.
that, right? Like, you
Right.
know what I mean?
For sure.
So that has to be a tough shift, man, to go from like, you know what I mean? Like this is my time.
Right.
And then to the point of accepting that it's not
Right.
anymore. I'm sure that probably takes years sometimes,
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say shout out to Q B's in the building. And bro, also one thing that really helps, man, just like acceptance, right? I feel like once we start to accept things for what it is, we start to like we gain insight, and then it's easier for us to know that you know what, I'm here right now, I'm the mayor right now,
Mm-hmm.
but this is not going to be like this forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the baddest, B word in town, but I'm not going to be the baddest B word no more, right? There's going to be young women who's going to like be those people, right? So it's just like it's kind of like hard, but I believe that once you prep and accept those things are gonna happen, like I'm not always gonna be at the number one spot forever. And we can even apply this analogy to business, right? Look at towards our us and all these companies, right? Blockbuster and all these things, right? They were great companies back then. They
Mm-hmm.
were on top, right? You can go even deeper, like Nokia, BlackBerry. Those were great companies, right? But where are they today? No one, they are not relevant. People don't even
Redbox.
barely talk about
Remember
them, right?
Redbox?
Exactly, Redbox, right? So I think we briefly had this conversation before. While you're in this position, whether you're an individual, business, or whatever it is, you got to learn to innovate.
Mm.
Innovation is key, right? You got to find ways to like think about the future and things that you can do whenever those times comes along that you can have the right skill sets to be able to like function, right? Because even though with technology nowadays, right, you hear about AI and all these things like AIs are taking away people's jobs. I believe there's going to come a time that most jobs are going to be obsolete,
Mm.
and we can even see it nowadays, right? Like imagine back in the days, the demand for a grocery store worker was more, right? People who like bag and all those stuff. Nowadays, you have those aisles that you can just pay and go through. So companies don't really need to hire people to do the work no more, right?
Right.
So you see, we're seeing these things happening in real time. Let's see to get in real quick. So we seeing these things happen in real time, bro. So for me, it's like whatever field you're in, you got to think about ways to innovate and be different. You can't just be stuck in that same mindset, right? You got to think about ways to grow and enhance whatever you're doing. Because at the end of the day, man, if you don't do that, you're gonna get left behind. So that's just kind of like what it is.
You got to always be innovating, man. It's funny when we talk about this because nobody really sits in that spot that we're talking about. And the first person I think of that I kind of heard talk about that um is R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember him saying that he had did the I think it was it the Crenshaw? I think it was the Crenshaw album. That was the $100 mixtape that he did, right? When he did the
Yeah.
$100
Yep.
mixtape, you know what I mean?
Wait,
He
wasn't it
said
$1,000?
now he did the first one for 100, then
Oh,
he
okay.
did mailbox money
Yeah, yeah,
for a
yeah.
thousand, I believe. You know what I mean? But what he said about it he was selling out everywhere, right? People was paying $100 for the mixtape, a whole bunch, you know what I mean? And a lot of capital came in from that tape, right?
Mhm.
For the Proud to Pay movement. But what he said that really sat with me is during that time, he made sure he like reallocated some of that money to different spaces. It didn't go like, some people go all in on just one thing, but he made sure to kind
Right.
of diversify
Mhm.
his the allocation of it. So like put some money to crypto, he put some money into the marathon store, you know what I mean. So he was really like diversing,
Right.
where that money came from, and it really just made me think is like kind of the understanding that I'm not going to be in this space forever. I
Right.
can't be, but
Right.
after that, I still want to set myself up. And
Right.
something that he said that really resonated with me, he was like, I set myself up in other places to where my investments worked in those other places. So I don't ever have to compromise my art just to try to make a hit. Like I don't ever
That's dope.
ever have to just chase something because I'm good money wise. So I'm not chasing the
Hmm.
money. I can
Right.
make the most authentic
Yep.
music or you know what I
Yep.
mean, piece of art that I want to and stay myself because I'm not tripping on the money. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So I think that was like a perfect example of what we talking about. Is I'm like almost knowing you're not gonna be in this space forever,
Right.
but when you are, make
Right.
plays to where you're
Right.
gonna be good regardless after.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Right. And
Mm.
also just like life overall, bro, knowing that we're not gonna be here forever, man. So that's why legacy is important, right? That's why impact is important. While you're here, do things that people are gonna remember you for. What are you gonna leave behind?
Hmm.
Like, what are you trying to leave generational wealth? Like, what's your purpose in life? And those are things. Those are things that we're pretty much talking about, right? Time, life is finite, right? What are you gonna do with your time? How are you going to use your time? Like, how are you going to help and elevate the people around you? Are you going to use the time and just be bullshitting out here and not do anything positive? Knowing that you just have this certain amount of time, or you're going to do something positive to make the generation better. So it's kind of like the same concept, right? Because I feel like once we are moving with that, man, it just makes you think strategically and just do things a little different, right? Because I mean, you know that hey, I'm in a position right now. I got to make sure while I'm here, I got to do something impactful, right? I got to make a difference. Because sometimes you see people are in a position of power and they abuse that position, right? They do something like devastating at the end of the day because they're like, shit, I'm not going to be here forever. I might as well just like do whatever I can, right? And to support people, right? By the end of the day, like, what are you going to leave behind too? What are people going to remember you for?
Yeah.
That's a fact. What's your take on that, Z? Where you at with it, man?
What was the question or prompt?
Just in general, we were talking about like how you can't be in that number one spot forever, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you specifically, what do you think are ways that somebody can like cement their legacy while they're in that spot?
Hmm. Uh, I think what you guys touched on is spot on, just as far as diversifying, right? I think expanding your reach as far as you possibly can while you're there, right? Because there's only so much opportunity that you're going to have that kind of impact. And so when I think about it, right, if I was at the top, um, I'm going to be trying to do like I think of like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is a prime example. Right? When Kevin Hart finally had his moment, he's in everything now. Like
Right.
you see Kevin Hart in every like literally everything. Like he went from Soul Plane to everything, bro. Like so, you talk about capitalizing on your moment. That's how you cement your legacy is just um being consistent too, though. Like, like I think the thing is a lot of people get to the top and then they stop trying as hard, right? Like I think, they may not put in the same effort that they used to and whatnot.
Right.
And so I think while you're at the top, one of the biggest things that you can do to cement your legacy is to continue putting on and still pouring in your whole heart and effort, just like you did like when you originally was there, like trying to get there
Right.
at the end of the day. I think oftentimes a lot of people when they get to the top they lose that like grit, right? They lose
Right.
that those intangibles of what it took to get there, right? And so um that's why I think you can fall off too quick because it's just like you forgot,
Right.
like they said, you forgot where you came from, right? And so it's always important to remember that mentality. So I think always staying hungry is a big thing, but beyond just staying hungry, staying consistent,
Right.
continue to pour into whatever it is that you that got you there. And then also uplift the people around you. I think that's one of the biggest things that you can
Right.
do as well is
Right.
uplift the people um in your direct circle. Y'all know one of my biggest goals in life has always to be a philanthropist. So, like being able to expand that reach and really be able to touch people in just different ways across the world. That's been always something that I've been very passionate about. And I think
Right.
that's when you think about legacy, I think that's really what it all boils down to. You mentioned it, DG, is impact, right? When you think about impact, it's um Ramon, you say it all the time, right? It's legacy isn't about like what you do for yourself, it's what you do for others.
For
And
sure.
so that's one of the biggest things that you can do is really not just continue to like stay hungry, stay consistent, but to pour into other people too.
Absolutely. No,
Facts.
that's true though. So what like, and also one thing what we when we had the discussion, right? We also talked about that too, right? I believe you can do all the above too, right? But still, you're not still going to be at that number one spot,
Hmm.
right? Because as time
Hmm.
goes by, you can do everything you just mentioned, which is fact, right? That's what you can do all everything you just mentioned, but with time and everything, there's going to be someone else who's going to take that spot, right?
Absolutely.
You're going to like fall back. So my thing is like mentally though, because it's hard for a lot of people to be able to like put themselves to be number two in a sense or number three, right? It's hard when you were that guy, you're that relevant, and now someone else take that spot. So from a mental standpoint, though, like, is there a way that you can prepare to be like when that time comes to be able to like cope with you not being on the spotlight no more and be able to like function? Because you see that a lot, bro. Like, I don't know, I was watching the OJ documentary, right? After he was like so famous and all of that. So when after that trial, when he wasn't found guilty of killing his wife or whatever, he was trying to like find that person again because people didn't really vibe with him like that no more. It's like he was doing all kinds of things to stay relevant, like in a negative way, right? He was going to Vegas, partying, doing drugs, all kinds of shit, right? Because he was still searching for that validation, trying to be
Hmm.
in that spot, right? And you see that a lot, right? People trying to like do things to just stand out. So how do you like mentally prepare yourself, for this type of situation? Whether it's like in business, your personal life, how do you go about mentally preparing yourself for that?
Shout out
Inevitable things
to
that are gonna
Tracy.
happen.
Shout out to Tracy, man. I like what she just said. Sometimes you can't because life slaps unknown on sometimes,
Right,
right? I
Hmm.
think I don't. It's a tough conversation. I think almost in order to be the best, you got to think you're the best, and you got to think that you're able to be the best, right?
Hmm.
for
I
sure.
don't think you just turn that off right when you're not the
Right,
best anymore. I think
right,
for a long time you're gonna still think that or
right,
still try to be that.
Hmm.
right,
You know what I mean? I don't know when that moment happens, but I do think um just be like reminding yourself that I heard Smokey Robinson say this one time, man, and he was just like it was like at a award show, and he was like, I just want to send a message out to all the artists out here right now, right? He was like, I'm in my 70s or something like that. You you got to always remember that you're not the first one to do something,
right,
and you're not going to be the last.
for
Hmm.
sure.
Like you know what I mean? So in that space, I think you have to remind yourself, like, I'm not the first person to be in this space and to sell these records and to do. There's people before me. There's a whole lineage before me. So that just kind of clicks your mind to be like, pay homage to the people before you,
For
and there's
sure.
gonna be people after.
Right,
Your time is like to know that your time is limited, man. So like I think just reminding yourself that while you're in these moments, make it count
Hmm.
for
right,
that reason.
Yeah.
Make it count because I don't think that you're ever gonna like nobody says like this is gonna be the end for me unless you have like a long career
right,
like Peyton Manning or something and just kind of just you know go out on top, win the Super Bowl, and then
right,
float off to the float. You know what I mean?
right,
Float off. A lot of times it don't work like that. A lot of times people is still fighting to be good at the end of their career, and it's hard to give up the game, and it's hard to you know what I mean. You still trying. How many artists that probably had a hit record is still making music that we don't
right,
know about them?
right,
There's probably a whole bunch of one hit wonders that came out when we was in high school, and they still in the studio trying to chasing that.
right.
Hmm.
But
You know what I mean? But I think it's important to just realize that it's okay to evolve and it's
right,
okay to like,
Yeah.
you know, like move into other things
correct.
that and it's okay to grow.
Right,
You
Yeah.
know,
right,
so I think
Yeah.
I think just reminding yourself
Yeah.
that.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good
I,
one.
I
Yeah,
I think what you touched on is repurposing yourself, right? Repurposing your passion, whatever it is. To your point, there's nothing wrong with
right,
evolving, right?
right,
There's only so long you can be the most gifted athlete on the planet, right? There's
right,
only so long that LeBron is going to be able to. Now, the fact that he's been able to do this for such a long period of time is wild. He's an anomaly, right?
right,
But LeBron's not going to be doing what he's doing at 55 years old, bro. Like that's just
right.
it's
No,
It's
it's
5
it's
years from
not
now,
sustainable, bro.
yeah.
It's not sustainable. Like it's just we're all human beings, and at the end of the day, we all like time is our adversary, and so
Right, for
you
sure.
always have to keep that in your mind in the back of your mind is at the end of the day, all this shit is gonna end at some point,
right,
though. Like,
right,
like you can't maintain this forever, right?
right,
And so I think the expectation that that I can hold on to this forever
right,
is unrealistic. Like,
for
I'm like,
sure.
that's a wild expectation to think that you're just gonna sit on the throne forever.
Right.
No one does,
No
bro.
one
Like,
does.
and so I think the biggest thing that you can do is keep that in mind, but also you can stay humble too, right? Like I think in order to get to the top, you do have to carry a certain confidence, right? You do
For
have
sure.
to, you do, yeah, I think you just have to like have a sense of confidence and brashness to you, at the end of the day. Like you gotta believe it at the end of the day. In order for
Right,
other people to believe it, you have to believe it too. But I also do think that throughout all of that, you can still remain humble too, though.
right,
And that's kind of what Tracy was touching on, is just like having faith, right? When it comes to like being a very spiritual person and whatnot, I am a very extremely confident person. Of course, I have my insecurities. We all do, right? But at the end of the day, I believe in myself and what I'm capable of. But I also do still take time to always remain humble. Always pray. Because at the end of the day, all this can be taken from us at any given moment.
for
Life
sure.
can humble you. God can humble you. Whatever the universe, all that shit can humble you at any given moment, and you can see Drake is a prime example. You see his fall from grace. That boy is down bad right now, and Drake was on top of the game for like like damn near 2 decades, right? Like he was sitting at the top, and look at how like is Drake like gonna be irrelevant forever? Nah. But this was the sit down, be humble, and it's just like he's seeing what that looks like now, and that can happen. The thing is that can happen to anybody, right? So a lot of people think they're invulnerable, right? Like, oh no, like that shit'll never be me, and it's just like, fam, you are literally crazy to think that we're all human. We all
Right,
have our moments, and those moments pass
right,
because we all pass, right?
right,
Like you, the only way that it could really, maybe if I think about people like the Pox and the Biggies, right, where they like pass before they pass too soon, right? Like oftentimes they say the greats pass too soon, and that's why their legacies are cemented forever and whatnot because they didn't. I think about that a lot, right? Like if Biggie and Pac were still alive, what would their legacies look like now? I think about that often, right? So um sometimes when your potential is cut short, especially when you accomplish something so great in a short span of time. What's crazy to think is Pac and Biggie died before 26 years old.
right,
So take a moment to 26 years old, bro. That's nuts to think about, right? And so when you accomplish something like of that magnitude in such a small period of time, um, of course, like I said, you're an
right,
anomaly, right? And oftentimes your legacy ends up being bigger
right,
than anything else
right,
because your time was
right,
cut short,
right,
right? But like if you live a long and fruitful life, you don't get to see you don't get the you don't and I don't want to even necessarily say the pleasure, but like because an early exit is not a pleasure in life, right? But like when you live a long and fruitful life, you you see the ascension, but you also see the decline too. And
right,
being able to put yourself in the mental space to like to brace for that, it's a hard thing to do, right? Like I said, I think the key to it is maintaining humility throughout it all, right? But even when it does happen, it's not gonna be an easy pill to
right,
swallow. It's not gonna be just like, man, like I went from being at the top and now
right,
I'm Mr.
right,
Irrelevant now. And it's just
right,
like, damn,
right,
like how do you really process that? And to Ramon's point earlier, repurposing yourself,
right,
finding new ways
right,
to give yourself an objective and to give yourself meaning in life. I think
right.
that's always going to be
Yeah.
important.
No, that's a good preaching, bro. I think repurposing yourself is important, right? Because like we was talking about yesterday, we briefly talked about 50 Cent, right? Because he's not big on the chart when it comes to music no more, right? But he's still
Hmm.
relevant when it comes to other
Yeah.
things. So I think that's a good way to look at it, right? Just because one thing you are the top in music and you're not the top no more doesn't mean that you should always just focus on doing music, right? pivot, try something different, right? Now he's still relevant. I don't know the last time 50 Cent came out with an album, bro. But now people people still talk about him to this day. So you like find ways that you can stand out. And Ramon made a really good point, like one hit wonder. Imagine you were that dude who made that one hit wonder, and now to this day you're still searching to make another hit again.
Hmm. Hmm.
A lot of people like that, guaranteed, and they in the studio
Right.
right now.
Right. It's funny, right? Because you're spending all that time to resource like 20 years ago. No one knows you, but you're still trying to get that feeling that you once felt. You know, it's trying to
Yeah.
focus all that time and energy into music when you could probably like diversify and try something new. Who's the what's that rapper Ramon? I think you mentioned him that has like the tech design. He
Oh,
works
Chameleon.
he works in
Chameleon.
right.
Yep.
He was one of those guys like back in the like early the 2008 2009 writing dirty. It was a hit song. People knew who he was, and after a while like he pretty much disappeared. But now like just having a conversation with Ramon, he pretty much big in tech. He did a lot of things. So if you're in the tech industry, if you're in the tech world, you know who he is, right? You might not know who he is when you just focusing on music, but now if you're talking about the tech world, he's more relevant, right? So being able to like pivot, right, not just being one strict point, being able to like be a little more versatile, be able to adapt. Because I feel like life is all about adaptation. Who are able to adapt to move forward,
Hmm.
right? So it's easier to just be stuck in one lane. But I feel like once we can like grow, learn, and adapt, we can still relevant. It might not be in our specific domain, but we
Yep.
can still relevant in other areas, right? And be able to like contribute and create values too, instead
Yep.
of just focusing for that, trying to make that one hit song again.
Yeah. And I mean, to that point too, though, like I think it is still important to, because I think about it. If I was a one hit
That
wonder,
rich
I would still
boy,
be.
throw some D's.
I would still be making music though. Like, like I think about that too, right? Like, I don't know if I'd necessarily be chasing another hit, but I
Right,
definitely still be making music. Like, I'm,
right,
I'm gonna be, I'm gonna make music until I die.
right,
Right? Until I expire, I'm gonna always find a way to tap into my creativity.
right.
Right? Um, and so I think about that. Um, but to your point, I think people get caught up in chasing that feeling. Like,
Right.
it's that high, right? Like you were on a high and it's just like I gotta experience that high again, right? And um if that's the case, you're always gonna be chasing that forever. But to that point, if you're chasing purpose,
Right.
you'll always be rooted,
Right.
at the end of the day, because I know that like I make music because I love it. It is my purpose, is me, right?
Right.
I'm not making music to try and make a number one hit on the Billboard,
Fact.
at the
Right.
end of the day, and Ramon mentioned that earlier with like someone like Nipsey, right? Like just being able to stay authentic to yourself. Um, that's also not something that's easy to do,
It's
right?
hard.
But it's what separates the few from the many, right? Um is just being able to channel whatever it is that makes you you. You lean into it. You don't shy away from that. It's like I just lean into this. Like this is me. I ain't out here trying to like please nobody. That I ain't out here trying to make anybody who fuck with me that don't fuck with me.
For
Right?
sure.
At the end of the day, I just fuck with my people, and the rest, it is what it is. I can't control that. And so shout out to the late Nip again, man.
Shout out to Nip, man. And there's something that I think about when we talk about this. These these moments when you are moving, you are ascending into this that white hot space, right? That number one spot, whatever it is, in whatever field it is. Um, but there's something I think about a lot is, a quote that I heard was like, you see the same people on the way down as you did on the way up. You
Facts,
see the same
facts,
people, you know what I
facts.
mean? So while you're going up, you meeting all these people, you know what I mean? And then when you come down, you falling, and then they still in them positions, and you falling through them. You know what I mean? So I think that's super important to realize that. So what's for y'all? What's y'all like take on how you treat people while you move up into that space?
Man, for me, just treat everyone with love and respect how you want to be treated,
Yeah.
right? The same way you're going to talk to the CEO, talk to the janitor that way. Because
Hmm.
Mm,
though I feel like whenever you reach this position, oh, I got so much more than this person is worthless, right? And then you try to like become more egotistical. Then at the end of the day, I feel like you're failing, right? You should always just live life, like believe in your abilities, know that you're the shit, but also have empathy for other people, knowing that you can't like just because you're rich or you have money, you're not better than the person who's poor, right? Or just because you have all these things, bro. Like we're all the same. Like no one is better than anyone, right? Because I feel like once you have that mindset and you believe that all human lives are valuable, it's just like just different stages, or sometimes other people just have more than others. Then you start to learn to just love everyone, and
Mhm.
you treat everyone the
Hmm.
same way you treat the same way you're gonna like treat that celebrity. You treat the regular person. I feel like that's for me personally. That's my mindset, right? No
Hmm.
matter how much money, fame, status, or whatever I have, I'm gonna treat everyone with love and respect
Hmm.
because I believe we're still the same people. Maybe I just have a little more money than you, right? But we are all the same. It doesn't mean that I should like disrespect you or think you're not worthy of my time or anything like that. So,
Hmm. I think at the end of the day, the way people treat others is a reflection of who they are and how they
right,
feel about themselves
for
at the end of the
sure,
day. Oftentimes people are just projecting. If people treat other people like shit, it's probably because they feel like shit,
right,
right? Misery loves company. So, like they want to make everybody else feel like shit because they don't they feel that way, right? But as I've gotten older, I think I've realized that maintaining love and humility throughout it all, man, is really what's I've identified that in my life. Like that's gonna be what gets me to that's my MO. That's
right,
that's my brand. That's gonna be what gets me to where I'm going because that's how I feel about myself. I love
right.
myself. I love me some zines. I don't care less what other people got to say. I love me some zines. Shit. So, but I think when you feel it particular that's why I always say like the best type of love there is self-love because you know what it is to like love and so you can exude that to other people, right? Like I already love myself, so I don't need anybody else to love me, but thank you for loving me in addition because um at the end of the day I love you just as much as I love myself too, because you know what that feels like and you are able to show people empathy and whatnot because like I said you're literally just radiating what it is that you who it is that you are, your character, what it is that you
Right,
feel. And
right,
when you talk about treating everyone similarly, right? Regardless if the janitor, the CEO, whatever the case may be, it's because you recognize that any given moment you could be that person, right?
right,
You could be the CEO or you could be the janitor. You
for
could you could
sure,
you could be you could be the billionaire or you could be homeless,
for
right? And you
sure,
understand that like regardless of what you have or what you have accomplished at any given moment,
right,
life can humble you.
right,
And when you understand that, like I said, that's where that love and that humility comes from. Because it's just like, man, like it it sucks to be hated anywhere, right? Like at the top you're gonna be hated, at the bottom you're gonna be hated too. But um if you're always consistently carrying love, humility, all that stuff, I think at the end of the day, people are just gonna appreciate you a lot more for who you are because you can strip us of everything that we are,
right.
and we still gonna be some real motherfuckers, man.
For
At the
sure.
end of the day, and
Still gonna
I
be
think
bombs.
people still gonna be bomb, man. People still gonna recognize it. I could be homeless and still bomb. I'll be like, man, you feel me?
Who's that
Uh,
fine ass homeless guy over there?
That motherfucker over there still doing pull-ups, huh? He just knocked out about 7 muscle-ups and shit. Like,
Come on.
okay.
Well, what's your take on that, Ramon? What about you?
Um, it's the same. It's the same, man. I'm heavy on just really just reciprocation, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, I'm so big on people's character that like there's certain things that can't move me with money. Like you know what I mean? I'm not going to do certain things for money and I'm not going to work with certain people for money. It's just like
Right,
there's
Mm-hmm.
certain things that like I feel like you have to stand on and have some type of level of integrity to yourself while you move through these things because like I said, like those short term, them get rich quick kind of moves, they never really pan out on a long term
never,
basis. I
never.
mean, but what does pan out on a long term basis is how you treated people and how you moved while you was moving into position. People remember that shit.
Mm-hmm.
People remember that shit, man. They remember like, yo, that was solid. You know what I mean? I don't remember what we was even doing, but I remember he was cool, and you know what I mean. And when he was at this level, he was still cool, and you know what I mean.
Right,
And it's I think that's I think that's just important to be able to when you finally do get to that space, you're not gonna stay in this space forever, but to be able to pivot and have people around you that's still willing to like work with you in different places. If your only thing in the world was like you was the top in the art or music or a
Right.
sport, if that was the only thing that you had, right? And you stepped on everybody to do it and treated them like an asshole, you know what I'm saying, the
Right.
whole time, when you done with that, that's it's going and it's gonna happen, then what?
Right.
Nobody wants to work with you in anything
Right.
else. They was only working with you because you had that spot.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like if you while you moving into that space, if you moving with integrity, I mean, people gonna be willing to be like, yo, you was good in that space, you know what I mean? Let me holler at you over here. You know what I mean? I got a space for you over here. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
the only other piece that I wanted to throw into this conversation was we talk about how we treat people moving up, but I just think it's important to like, remind people that like how you're like allocating funds even when you while you're moving up,
Right.
right? So like I hear this a lot about like professional athletes that was that made all this money during their time and just blew it all while they was and people don't even understand how did you blow 50 million, like we don't even understand that,
Right.
but it's really because they just had a lifestyle that it couldn't sustain after that. You think that your money's gonna keep rolling in like this, but after you out the league or something like that, then what?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just important, no matter kind of what space you in, to be able to like move money around and invest and set up that safety net for yourself while you're in your highest years of earning.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I feel like life is kind of like this, right? It should be like what's your earning and then your investments, right? As you get older, it's probably gonna switch to like that, like right,
Right.
like you don't want to be out there actively earning in
Right.
any job for the rest of your life,
Right.
right? Like you know what I'm saying. At some point, you want the investments to be able to take care of you, man. So that's just something I had to throw in there.
Yeah. Before I like that route you talked about. I want to address Tracy question before I answer that. She's like, to be honest, I stopped loving some people because it took that and took me and played with me. So sometimes in treating
Hmm.
people right, you need to set boundaries. I do agree in a relationship
Absolutely.
for sure.
Hmm.
There needs to be boundaries, right? Things has to be reciprocal, right? It has to be
Absolutely.
reciprocity. So yeah, and they can just keep giving to someone, and they're not giving anything back to you.
Hmm.
So there has to be boundary, but that still doesn't, you know, negate the fact that you still have to treat everyone with love and respect, right? No matter if they're rich or poor. But I do agree in relationship there has to be boundaries because sometimes if you don't have boundaries, people are just gonna take advantage of you. It's gonna demand way more than they're willing to give, and then within every transaction, business like it's not fair, right? To be like giving more than you get in return. So I think it's important to have those boundaries
Yeah.
in relationship and
Absolutely.
over a friendship, everything, even just in business.
Hmm.
Like yeah, it's important. Even
In
like our
any
friendship,
relationship.
yeah, I think it's balanced, right? It's not one person not just taking away from everyone and then don't give anything in return. So I think that's why it keeps friendship alive because the reciprocity. Oh, I'm able to give you this, you're able to help me when I'm in need. It can always be whenever I'm in need, I'm the one who always reaching out. But whenever you reach out, you're in need. I'm like, oh, bro, you got to figure it out on your own. That's not right. So there has to be that boundary. And
Yeah.
and and also going over to your point, Ramon, I think that's great, bro. Especially you hear this all the time, right? Athlete makes a lot of money, and at the end of the day, they blow it out, right? Because we're young. I'm gonna get the next contract, but like nothing
Hmm.
is guaranteed, right? Why if you get injured next season and then that contract is not guaranteed no more,
Hmm.
right? So that's why it's important. I know this is not financial literacy, but like it's important for now. Like now is the time to like start planning for the future. Because
Yeah.
first off, the energy we have right now, we're not gonna have this energy and vitality. Hopefully when we're 80, it's not gonna be the same. I can guarantee you can be the best 80-year-old man, but you're not gonna be lit as Z and I when we go to Miami and turn up like that. You're not gonna be able to have the energy to do that. Like ZB jumping all day. you know?
I'm sure when he's 50, he got a couple more leaps in him. You know what I mean?
I can guarantee his knee ain't gonna be that great, right? It's going, see with me, right? So it's important, man. Now is the time to like start planning. Because I feel like sometimes we think, oh, I'm too young, or I'm gonna figure it out. Nah, bro. Now is the time. You're never too young to be great. You're never too young to learn these skills and apply them. Because at the end of the day, bro, when you get older, you're not gonna have that energy to make more money. Like time is short now. It's easier when it comes to investing, right? If you look at compound interest, the younger you start investing, the higher probably is that you're gonna make more over your lifetime. So it's important for you to like start now have that mindset like, hey man, whatever position I'm in right now, I'm not gonna be in that position forever. I can just blow this cash. I can just go and party. I gotta like save. I want to have a family. I want to be able to like travel. I want to do all these things. We heard this YOLO, you only live once, but sometimes you don't know how long you're gonna live for too, though, right? So it's got to be a balance. You can be like, I want to go live once and then like blow it up tomorrow, but it's always have to
Yeah,
be a
but then
balance,
you end
bro.
up 80 years old. You know what I'm saying? You still might live
Right,
once for 80 years
right,
though. Like, you know what I'm
exactly.
saying? You know what I
No,
mean? So,
no disrespect, because I see sometimes people who are 80 working at Walmart, bro. I don't want to be that 80-year-old man pushing the fucking car. No disrespect, right? I don't want to be that person.
not, and I
Nothing is
think the
guaranteed.
biggest thing is on that piece is like you just don't want to have to be.
Right,
Like if you want to be there and you
right,
just want to do something when it's
correct,
a time,
right,
talk to
right,
people talk to people a little bit, cool. But you don't
correct.
want to have to.
Have to.
You
That's
know what I
what
mean?
you got to do, bro.
Yeah,
That's what you got to go to
yeah,
work, right? After 80-year-old man, you got to actually work 40 hours a week, bro. I don't want to be that person. Like nothing is guaranteed, but I believe that you can increase the probability of doing certain things, right, and not to get a certain outcome. And by you like making sure you're investing, learning about financial literacy, those things can help you lead you in the right way. It's not guaranteed, but it can help you as you get older, for sure.
yep.
Shout out to Tracy's grandpa real quick, man.
So
Said he's
you
70 years
got
old. He want to act young, man. He got here last week and still want to see the lit spots, man. Hey, tell your grandpa we said what's happening, man.
Hey,
Tell him we gonna be out there in damn near a week.
tell your grandpa we out there next week,
We out there
man.
next
Next
week, man.
weekend.
Tell him to
We
put
out there
us
next
on,
weekend.
man.
he still want to act young.
Shout out to
Yeah.
grandpa, man. Yeah.
Shout out to
Tell him to
Pop.
put us on, man.
Yeah, but it's funny though. Isn't it weird? Like you see, like sometimes you go to the club, like 65-year-old dude, like by themselves. Like I don't want to be that 65-year-old guy in the club by myself, bro. If we are going to the club, like boys night, yeah, that's cool. But I don't want to be the only dude in the club, like 65 years old. What the fuck? What am I doing there trying to talk to young girls? Nah, I don't want to be.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that guy.
that's a fact. And to that
Yeah, there ain't no way,
and to
man.
that point, you have to innovate, man. You have to
Bro.
You got,
innovate and
you got,
evolve. You gotta
yeah.
evolve.
And
'Cause,
that's
bruh,
that's a prime example of Drake, bro. Drake still acts like he's like 24, bro. Like you talk about like not being able to recreate yourself and rebrand yourself. Like he's still Drake is out here like I don't know if you saw in I didn't I didn't watch the stream, but I saw like a video of it. He got mad because was it whatever Aiden Ross whatever his
mhm.
name is called him Unc, and he got mad. Like he was like Unc, like he was like I ain't nobody's Unc, like but when you
I get it though. I'm like, God damn.
Call me big bro or something.
I mean I definitely feel
what
you. I definitely feel you.
what age is Unc? Let's stop. Well, hold up. Let's hold this real quick. Hold this thought. What age is Unc? When do
Bro,
you go from big bro to Unc? Like what age?
I'm gonna be biased. I would say it's after 38 and up because I'm not there yet.
37 still big bro?
Yeah, coming big, bro.
Yeah, I would say.
But no, 30. Actually, I saw online like 32 is actually up. So we are
I
up.
mean we're all uncles, so I mean technically we unks. Like that's
Right.
the thing.
We all
We
got
all unks.
nieces and shit. We all got nieces and shit.
We all
For
unks.
like
So
32 though, like Kyrie. Remember what Kyrie was like? Playing in the
Yeah.
NBA. He was like kids calling me un. I'm like 33.
But the crazy thing is he's old enough to be that young. They
Right,
might be 19.
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah, I'm not. It's like I'm I guess. Yeah, it's funny though, right?
yeah.
I mean, for me, that's respect though, right? Back in Africa, we call it, like people who was older than you, like 5, 6 years, uncle and auntie. So for me, that's great. I think that's a blessing to be called.
Tracy
Tracy said from
Tracy
30.
30 and up
Damn,
is up.
30.
Nah, hell no, that's crazy. That's out of bounds.
30 is unc.
Hey man, if you out here and you 29, boy, you got
You better
365 days before
you
you
better
up,
hold on
baby.
to it while you can, man.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean,
That's funny.
it's a blessing to be unc though. It's a blessing, yeah.
Yeah.
But like you
Dang.
can see that. I feel like sometimes people try too hard, right? Like you see like a lot of older people like want to like no disrespectful acting young, but like I feel like when it comes with age, you gotta like be able to do certain things. There's certain like I feel like I'm going to carry myself way different at 45 than at what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or at 50. There's certain things I'm not going to do. And sometimes you see people like, like 40 and still twerking. Like, what are you 40 and still twerking online? Like, what are you doing? 40-year-old woman like twerking? Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know.
Hmm.
I feel like at certain Ramond laughing.
You
I mean,
said
twerk
what is
at home with your
wrong with you?
husband, like twerk at home with your husband, but not online. Looking for clout, validation, trying to be twerking online. Like there got to be certain age. You got to realize, man, I'm too old for this. Even now, there's certain things I realize I'm too old for. I wouldn't do. So it's kind of like the same thing. I think it just comes from maturity, realizing like, yeah, bro, I got to act a certain way. Because we talked about it all the time. Whoever you want to be now, you need to start acting like that
Yeah.
person. You got to start, not just like by just talking about it, like action, doing things. You want to be that CEO, start learning about business. Start studying about business. Start doing all these things that are going to help you, to get there. Stop being that person that you want to be, you know.
The 40-year-old is twerking for the unks, man. Stop playing.
But not online though. Like do that shit
Shout out
behind
to
closed
Jason.
door.
The unks love the 40-year-old twerkers, man.
But we were having this conversation yesterday too, right? Like, there are certain things that you're not gonna do forever. The lifespan is so short. If you're an athlete, you know that you're not gonna be playing sports when you're after 40.
Hmm.
You know that. Not that many people are gonna be LeBron James,
Mhm.
right? Very few people are gonna reach that status. So while you're young, it's best for you to like start doing these things. For example, if you're a stripper, you know you're not gonna be on that pole forever. So while you're making money from the strip club, it's time for you to like budget, plan, be more strategic because when you start hitting like auntie status, you're not gonna be making that much money no more. That. So it's all about just preparation. I think just people behave out. Excuse me. People behave like they're just gonna have the money and time forever, bro. It's not gonna be that way. Do things now that are gonna help make the future a lot better.
Hmm.
You know, and I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah. I mean, a prime example, you think of somebody who was thinking of their future and was able to recreate themselves. A lot of people probably don't know him, but Junior Bridgman.
yeah. I think you mentioned that yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a professional NBA player. He played it, I think, in like from like the 70s to like the 80s. Um, he played like 12 seasons in the league, but throughout his entire NBA career, he didn't make more than $350,000 in a single season,
Wow.
right? That now that was a lot more money back then,
Right.
right? 350K was a lot more back in like, 82
Right.
than what it is now.
Right.
However, regardless though, he never made more than like 350K in a single season, but he knew that I'm not going to be able to play forever, and I'm not going to be able to make this type of money forever either.
Facts.
Right? And so he started. I forgot how he got into it, but he started looking into the Wendy's chain, the Wendy's restaurants, and he ended up buying a couple. And then after he retired from the NBA, he ended up going all in. He's now worth over 600 million. Right?
That's
Which
dope.
is crazy. You know, he's one of the most successful athletes of all time, and he accomplished most, honestly, probably most of his success after being,
Right.
post his career, which
Right.
is nuts
Right.
too, right? So that's a prime example of someone who's thinking ahead
For
and
sure.
understanding. Like I said, it takes that level of humility to just understand that, what, I can't do this forever. So let me put systems and things into play to where when I do when I do take that step away, I'll be set up for success. And that's
Facts.
not always an easy thing to do,
Right.
but it's the people who like that who are brilliant, right? Like to flip whatever his 12 seasons, right? If you think 12 seasons, let me do the math real quick. I'm not the math whiz, so I'm gonna have to bust out the calculator one time. One time for the one time. So all right, 350,000. And that was like probably the most he made,
Right.
in a single season. So
Let's say,
we'll just say on that
yeah, let's say he averaged two.
200K.
Right.
So let's say 200K times 12. That's what, 24, 2.4 million.
2.4.
Yeah,
Right.
so he made probably around 2.4 million throughout his NBA
And that
career.
It's like 12
that's
years,
that.
right? 12
And
seasons, so
that
like
was
12
12
years.
seasons.
Yeah,
And granted, like I said, this was back from like the 70s to the 80s.
right,
So it was a completely different time. But that's 2.4 million back then probably would have been a lot,
right.
right? But to think of like that's what he made over an entire 12 years of his athletic career. He's now worth north of
That's
$600 million.
insane, bro.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
And like I said, to accomplish all of that post your prime, right? This is after his prime, right?
for
We
sure.
talk about what your prime is, right? Being in that mode.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So Tracy, I am at home. What you talking about? Anyways. um
This our background look different, boy.
I'm like, I am at home. I don't know what you talking about. But
Yeah, he's
you
not
know,
home.
but that's one of the first people that comes to my mind when you think about being able to reinvent yourself.
Right.
A lot of people struggle with that, and a lot of people don't know how to. Like, man, I just don't even know where to start. And
Right.
so, like I said, I don't know how he ended up getting into that venture and I don't know what making him choose Wendy's specifically. That's interesting, but
might
I
have
mean,
loved it.
shit, the shit panned
He
out.
might have loved
He
Wendy's,
might
man.
he might have had he might have had a double sack and was like, you know what, y'all on to something over here, man.
He love a
He said,
baconator. You know what I mean?
you know,
Bacon there. I mean,
he tried that frosty for the first time and was like, what man, what y'all got going on over here, man?
Yeah, I love
so,
He said
some.
they said dip the fry in the frosty, and he said,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
he
money.
said,
man,
oh.
That's money.
man, man, I don't remember the last time I had Wendy, bro. It's been years. That's crazy. Damn.
I know that
Chick-fil-A though.
that pineapple lemonade that Z put me on
Hey
is a
man,
motherfucking.
Really?
if y'all ever go to Wendy's, man, get the pineapple mango lemonade.
Boy,
Okay.
It's gonna change your life. It's gonna
boy.
change your just you can thank me later. But them honestly, I still think this is a complete side note. I still think Wendy's got some of the best chicken nuggets
Really? I never.
in the
Out of
game.
out of all the fast food
In the
spots,
game. Out of
they
all
in the
I
pocket.
still to this day think they got some of the best chicken nuggets.
From,
Uh,
from where is Tracy? You said my mom sent me
my mom's.
something.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Tracy. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna be out there. So
Yeah.
if it needs to be sent, or we're gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying?
And I know. Another good, one thing I want to talk about too, since we're talking about just planning for the future too, right? Another good things too, just like nowadays, like you never know what's gonna happen, right? And that's when you see a lot of people when they lose their job, they don't have any security net. I mean, no, not security net, but like money put aside for emergency, right? Emergency funds. Those are the things too. Like you're working, you have a job, cool. Things are stable, but you don't know how when things are gonna turn south. It's always good to have this safety net put in place. So God
Hmm.
forbid, when everything's are south, you're able to like have something to like depend on. Usually people say, "Oh, always have like 6 months worth of expenses when shit happens, so you can be able to take care of yourself." Because it's easier, right?
Hmm.
Now you're not like struggling. Oh shit, I gotta find a job tomorrow. You have a safety net that when shit happens, you can use that to like get back on your feet.
Hmm.
And that's one of the ways you can like prep for the future, not live in the moment too, right? Because you know that hey, I have a job, things are stable, but there's a possibility I could lose this job. I think just for me personally, just going living life knowing that hey man, like anything can happen, and just like you're not gonna plan for everything, but for most things that are core in your life, you want to have some type of plan. Like what if this happened? What can I do? Like how can I figure this shit out? How long do I have to get back on my feet if you have kids, right? I know we did a couple of episodes. We talked about life insurance, all these things that are important to have. You're like, oh man, I'm young. I don't care about this shit. This is bullshit. When I die, they can figure it out. But these things just like helps you whenever, God forbid, when shit happens, because life is full of a lot of uncertainty. So when shit happens, you have these safety net, you have these things put in place to help mitigate that stressful situation for you and your family.
That's a big fact, man.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
I just want to add that
To
to that.
shift. You got to shift, man. And the last thing I kind of want to throw in here is I know we was talking about it when we did our New Year's toast, and we talked about like I think Ten Man was on
Right.
there with us, and he was like, he's like, I starting to, you starting to feel old sometimes, right? At getting to different ages like that. But there was something that we agreed on when we was on that call is like you are going to feel old if you keep trying to do the same shit that you was doing when you was young. Like, you
Facts.
know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna always like if you go to if you was 18 going to the club and it was the first club you ever went to, and then you 35 going to the same club, you gonna feel old in there. You know what I'm saying? It's 18 up. You know what I'm saying? You gonna feel old in there, right? But if you 35 and you might, I don't know, start going on a cruise or
Right.
like, you know what I mean, or going to a conference like invest for changing what you do, you might
Right.
feel young.
Right.
Like, damn, I'm 35 and I'm the youngest one in this motherfucker. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
Right.
facts.
so I think it's really important to like focus on what you're doing at different times of your life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you,
Right.
you
It
gotta
could change how you feel about things.
you gotta do age appropriate shit, man.
Uh,
I'm a firm believer in that, boy.
the
Grown people got to do grown shit, man. You can't be out here grown. You can't be
torque it.
in there like imagine us in like Club Bash right now, bro. Like what?
But why?
What?
Hold on. But what if we just want to go out and have a good time though? Just
I'm not
we've been working
going to
hard.
Club Bash. That's the last place that I'm going, bam. Like what? I'm gonna go out and have a good time. I'm not going to fucking
So
Club Bash.
hold on.
Listen,
You saying that if I'm having my birthday 35 birthday celebration at club badge, you got the invite, you're
bro,
not coming.
you a
I'm
damn
not
fool. But
I'm
hey,
not gonna be there.
hey, I'll catch you at the birthday dinner, my bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna see you at the dinner, and then I'm a, all right. I'm
But
gonna head out after that.
I never been to bash before though. How is it like? Is it like what is it
It
like?
was a
Is it free?
time.
It,
I don't even. It's not even exist. They don't even exist no more, right?
they
Right?
don't
Damn,
exist
motherfuckers don't
anymore.
exist.
That was the time. It was definitely a time.
Bunifa was definitely in Bash. You know what I'm saying? We was in there. We was in there. Hey, at 18, it was. You know what I'm
At
saying?
18, that shit was cracking, boy.
It
Right.
was.
You
So
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
so no
boy,
bash.
hell nah. Like, there's no way you would catch me at an 18 and up club right now. I
Mm.
don't care.
Oh,
I don't
so
care.
it was 18
Yeah,
up.
it was
Last 18 up.
18
Okay,
and
Yeah,
up
for
okay,
club,
sure.
bro.
okay.
Remember, so story time. We was we was out in Europe, and I
Ooh,
forgot how we ended
we.
up there.
Ooh, we.
But we went to this one club that somebody had suggested to us. It was like, all right, cool. So we ended up pulling up. It was just Ramon and I. And we obviously didn't know the city, so we was just like, fuck it. Like whatever people just be throwing shit out. But you also have to remember, like, people move differently in Europe. So they be going out from like 15,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Like 14, 15 and shit like that. And so we pull up to this club, we get downstairs, we like, all right, this shit finna be a vibe. There's no bar. So I was like, that's a
Yeah,
little
that's a
interesting.
red flag
I'm like,
number one.
I'm like, there's no bar. Like what?
There's
Like
no bar.
so I'm like, this is interesting. So we get to the dance floor, we like, what? Where the fuck are we at, bro? Like, yo, like these motherfuckers look like they 14 years old. I'm like, fam, because they probably are. That's the crazy thing. I'm like, yo, they probably are. Ramon and I looked at us, we was like, bro, we got to get the fuck up out of here
There was a chick
expeditiously, bro.
to add to it. There was a chick standing next to us. I don't know if it was me or Z. We was like, "Yo, how old are you?" She said 16. We said, "All right, y'all, we up out this door. Get the fuck up out of here, man. Let's get the fuck up out of here, man."
We said hell nah. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. But that's just it's also the culture out there. That's just hella different. But I was just like, man,
Right,
this is nuts. But there's no way in hell you would ever catch me in a spot like that. Like at least intentionally. Like
right,
we didn't go there knowing
right,
that it was that type of spot.
right.
But if you threw your birthday party this year at Club Bash, bro, I'd be like, hell nah,
All
bro.
right.
You could,
Now,
Hell nah.
you could.
now I know what bash is. Nah, I think we have a different plan now.
Hell
We're
nah.
not doing bash no more.
Nah. Them bash days, the bash is in the past.
Anissa said she was in there.
Bash from the past. That's what it is.
She was in there. She was in there doing stang leg. That's hilarious.
Bro, for real. Like I remember I remember Party Like a Rock Star. That shit was
Yeah.
like
Oh my God. Jeez.
I remember vividly being in the middle of Bash, like party like
Come on, man. Gee,
bro,
that's
you talk about a
a time,
time, boy.
Damn.
time was had.
A
A time
time
was
was
had.
had.
Damn, I missed out on Bash then.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Cause I
I'm
when
sure,
Let me
I'm
tell you,
sure I had some Philly shit, so I know I
not
know Philly had a bash.
no, I didn't really go out that much, bro. From high school, bro, I came straight to Fort Collins. I didn't really party that much in Philly either. So like I missed out a lot, right? So from high school, I went straight from Philly, bro, straight to Fort Collins. I didn't even stay in Aurora. I was from Philly to Fort Collins.
Yeah. Makes
5 years. It
mhm,
was
sense.
like after graduation when I came out
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I missed out on the Bash day.
I'm actually surprised you didn't go because we actually still went to Bash a couple of times in college. Like, well, I
Right,
know, yeah, like we still would pop out the like we would drive down from Fort Collins from
right.
Foco to go to
That's
Bash. So
wow.
I'm actually surprised you never went.
Never. Which one? There's a club called Church, right? Cass used to be talking about
Oh
Church.
yeah,
There
yeah,
was
yeah.
church, yeah. There was church that was on Market Street.
Okay,
Or
I
not
heard
Market
about.
Street. That was on what is it? Not Lincoln. What the hell is the name of that street?
Wasn't it Broadway? Was it
Broadway.
Broadway?
Yeah, it was on Broadway. Yeah. Yeah, it was on Broadway. Church, I went to church I think once.
uh,
And it's an actual church, like it used to be a church
right.
and they turned it into a club. Bro, I was in there, I was like, bro, I just feel like I'm about to be set on fire. Like I'm about to burst in flames. Like I'm like, fam, like the altar is still there. I'm like, fam, there
Wow.
ain't no way I could be up in this motherfucker, man.
Well, you were lit though.
Wow.
You were lit in church.
I mean, I was lit. Yeah, hell yeah, I was lit. But I was like, but immediately, like, you know those moments that sober you up a little bit. I was
Hold on.
like, ah, shit.
Hold on.
I was like,
That's the
man,
cross. The cross is right there.
What said
yeah.
I can't get lit with with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Not doing
Just watching
that.
your every move. All right. I know we're close to the hour. I think we should do the would you rather kind of question.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, big boys that just spring in the black.
So
Now, but
we gonna do
sometimes,
we gonna
yeah, go
oh, go
ahead,
ahead.
Omar.
Now I just jump into it, man. So at the end of every episode, we always do the on the spot question, the would you rather question of the day, right? You know what I'm saying? So we like to see where people sit on the side of things, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we be on different sides with this thing, man, right? So on the topic of you can't be hot forever, right? Or you can't be in that number one spot. Here's the question. Would you rather be in that top number one spot in whatever it is that you want to be for 10 years and then be at the bottom for the rest of your life, or just be middle of the road for your entire life? What are we doing? I'll say it again. Would you rather be in that top spot of whatever you love? That I'm talking about that number one spot for 10 years straight, a decade. You've been running that shit. But then for the rest of your life, you live at the bottom, or just be real middle of the road for the rest of your life.
Damn.
Yeah, what?
Fuck. Z, you want to go first? I don't know yet. I'm still thinking. I'm still trying to process this. This one is hard, bro. Would you rather?
All right, but like, what are the parameters?
There we go, Z. There we
What are the
go.
what are the
There we
yeah,
go.
what are the parameters, fam? Like, I'm like, hold up,
Exactly what I
man.
said.
There we
But
go, Z.
not, yeah, man. I
It
gotta
got to
make
be
this
extreme.
shit interesting. I
Let's
gotta
get
make
it.
this shit interesting, man.
I'm ready for the
So if we
questions.
talk
Let's
about,
ask.
so if I'm at the top, right? I'm at the top. Like I'm at the tippity top. I'm Mount
Can't be
Everest in this
touched.
motherfucker.
You can't be
Can't be
touched.
touched.
You know what I'm saying? You was Jordan in his prime. You LeBron. You was Pat Mahomes. You whatever it is. You know
So
Drake, Kendrick, whatever it is. You in that top spot.
top, like it's secured. I'm cemented.
10 years
Number
straight.
one for
10
10
years.
years. What does the bottom look like though? Like what like that I gotta know what is the bottom though? Like
It's,
like I'm
it's
like
bad, bro. It's bad.
He says that.
It's bad.
like
That's
If we making this to the extreme,
right.
if the top is the top like we talking about, then the bottom is the bottom like we talking
Like you
about.
so
And actually,
I'm like homeless.
I'll give you a little grace. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a little grace at the bottom. And and no disrespect, because we're not gonna say like this is the the bottom, right? This is, this is regular for a lot of people. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But like going from that, and then let's get even more specific with this, right? We're going from that top thing, right? That top space that we're talking about,
Hmm.
and in that space, you making, I don't know, let's say 50 million a year for those 10 years. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? 500 million over that, right? But you blowing it. You just blowing it the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like you blow every dollar you had. You ain't had no good friends around you. You was just blowing that shit wilding. You know what I mean? And then after that, the most you could ever make a year is $30,000.
Bro, what the fuck? Come on, man.
I want to say 25. You know what I'm saying? Because
He
you know what I'm
said,
saying.
he
On
said
the other
30,
side,
bro. Come
on the
on, bro.
other side,
30K.
whatever it is, it's like you in the field that you want to be in, but the
Oh
middle of the
my
pack, right? So you
god.
never gonna be like considered the greatest, or you really,
Oh my
accomplished, like you
god.
broke the records instead of that. But you sit in that, let's say 95,000 just for the rest of your life.
I'm in the middle of the pack and I make $95,000 for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
Or I
But you
get
never get no
10,
great, like you never crack any other
yeah,
codes.
I
Codes.
never go above
Now
95. Like I just make
let's go. Let's go.
95.
Let's go down. Let's go down actually a little bit to make this a little more interesting. 80.
80K for the rest of my
Hmm.
life.
You just max out. You just max out there. You know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to, like I said, I don't want to disrespect nobody because that's not middle of the pack. That's actually doing
Right.
really good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But just max out at 80. There's nothing you can do. You can give all. You can give it your all, and you're not gonna make more than that. But after that 10 years, you're not making less than that either.
Yeah. Mike, you thought about this. Look at you. You're like,
Nah,
oh, I'm gonna play this.
he be on that bullshit, man. I'm like,
What?
man, he
Damn.
be
Let's
he be
let's
on
make this
that bullshit, man.
interesting.
I'm like,
Let's make it interesting,
man.
man.
You know why?
All right, so I get
I,
80 million or an 80,000 a year for the rest of life, or I get 50 million for 10 years, blow it
But
all, and
you
then
gotta blow it all.
$30,000 for the rest of my life after that.
I want to say 25 because the bottom is, 20. Let's go 20.
Nah, bro. Nah, stop it. You make no stop 30,000. Thirty
But
thousand is
there's some
already
people that make
extreme.
30 now. I don't want to say they at the
right.
bottom. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not, it's
That's
tough.
true.
It's tough to make it, but that's not the
Right.
bottom.
Bro, 30,000 in New York is absurd, bro.
You gonna have to
That's
move.
absurd,
You
bro.
gonna, you not
That's
living in New York.
30,000 a year in
Yeah.
New York, bro. Is that's
Pack your bags,
fam.
my boy.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful,
pack,
bro.
pack your
That's
bags, my boy.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go 25. 25.
No,
Damn.
30, bro. We already established it. 30. That's where we stop. Like,
Is that
30.
the bottom though?
30.
That's not the bottom.
Yeah.
30. 30.
That's not the
30.
bottom, man.
That's already
I,
extreme. That's already extreme.
I have an answer. This is my answer. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go with option one, 50
Which
mil a
one?
year, because I feel like with that experience I'm gonna get, things I'm gonna do with 50 mil a year for that 10 years, is gonna be crazy. So I think I'm just gonna do that. I have a plan here. I'm gonna do that, and then my 30K, I'm just gonna
Nah,
move to a third world country.
hold up.
You didn't say I couldn't
Nah,
move.
nah, hold up. Nah, she's right. Nah, Hanifa's right. 30K a year is 15 an hour. That's too much. That's
Okay,
not the bottom.
how much?
To trade off.
Bro,
To tr
that's minimum wage. That
that's
Right,
is
not the
like that.
that's not the
But that, I
bottom.
mean that's
That's
but
not the
that's
bottom.
minimum wage though.
That's not.
right,
But that's not like
right,
the
right,
if the top is 50 million a
right.
year.
Bro,
I
stop it,
agree. Yeah,
bro. From 50 million to 30,000, that's the bottom,
But
bro.
that's only a 50K difference between the
You
80.
might as well just say you homeless at
yeah,
that point then. You
that's
might just
true.
well say from 50 million to homeless. Like that's what you might as well just say,
Let's
bro.
say we're
Like
going 15K. There we
what
go. 15,
what the
15's fair.
fuck?
That's the bottom. 15K in
Man,
the year.
like
That's the bottom. Bro, you
15K,
you did
one
50
five.
million. You did 50 million for 10 years.
Hold on, 15K. How much is that an hour? God damn.
bro, but that's 10 years of your
Yeah.
life. If the average person lives to be like 82 now, and
Then
so
pick the
the
middle
rest
then.
of your life, $15,000 a year, bro, that's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Let's go
yeah,
fit. Yep.
damn.
Let's go. That's fair then. That's the bottom. That is the bottom. So for 15, we go 15. She said 14 is the bottom. I'll give y'all an extra thousand.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
All right. So
15,000.
my answer. I'm standing on 10 toes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with my 50 mil a year, living crazy, doing whatever it is that I want to do for 10 years, making sure I'm helping my people, put everyone on, and then after that, I'm gonna move to Africa, somewhere really remote, and then just get my 15K a year and just live a cool, chill life. That's what I would
Okay,
do.
okay. Let me ask another question because I love that answer.
That's a great
So
answer.
in this 50 million, right? So like while I was on, did I did I buy a house in Africa? Like, can I live?
Nope,
Like,
nope.
I
Nah,
can't.
there ain't no fly shit. You wasted it. You
You just
blew it.
blowing it.
You blew it,
You
bro.
can
You
buy
was
things for
renting.
other
You
people,
never.
but not you. I
Yeah.
mean, just them. Yeah,
It
not
wasn't.
you.
It
You just blew
wasn't.
everything.
You didn't buy nothing
Crazy.
that you could mess with after.
No asset, nothing.
No
You just blew it
asset.
out. Just
There
parties,
wasn't no. You
vacation.
know what I'm saying? Nah. All
It's like a
liabilities.
loan. It's like loan. You just
Yeah.
had a
The fall
loan.
off is nasty work. The fall
Yeah,
off was gross.
That's
It
fucking
was. It
nuts,
was
bro.
insane.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, bro. I'm gonna do the 50K, 50 mil for a year, and then after that, I'm just gonna go somewhere remote in Africa and just live. Because I feel like somewhere in Africa, I can maneuver and work my way with
Yeah.
15K a year. That would be my plan. Just go somewhere and just chill, and yeah. But that would suck, bro. Damn.
And nobody can give
That's
you no money either.
nigga, come on now.
Nobody. You got to pay for your own lifestyle at 15.
Yo, bro, why
Bro,
if I?
you can't say
You
what?
can't. Nah.
This is
You,
like, bro,
bro, you had fifty
no,
million
bro.
dollars for 10 years.
So I,
Think about that.
if I
Think
get
about that.
married,
From
if
from
Yeah.
20.
I get married, my wife can't give me any money, bro. What the
No,
fuck is that bullshit?
her
Like,
money is her money, and your money is y'all's money.
nah, nah, fam. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Right.
Hey, come
Hell
on.
nah, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Her money is her money, and your money is your money, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn. That's all. Yeah. That. Damn. Yeah. For 10 years, bro. 10 years. I think that's all I
Yeah,
do.
I think I'm doing the same. I'm doing what Hamisa said. I'm at the top. When I was at the top, I'm gonna find somebody and I'm gonna lock it down, and she just gonna have to hold us down for the rest of life.
No, you can't. You can't spend the money on you.
It's
No, but I
okay,
mean,
but
I'm
yeah.
still living in the house
Right.
though.
I mean,
Like
that's the
I'm
point. That's
still
true.
staying in her
Yeah.
crib. Like,
That's a easy. I feel like that's an easy cop out,
but
man. That's an
that,
easy one.
you, bro, are you saying I gotta be single for the rest of my
Nah,
life? Like that's
nah. You gotta marry. You gotta marry at the level.
nah, hell no.
15K, 15K.
Fam, that's
You got,
crazy. No, bro. Like,
you got to
that's
marry in
nuts.
that little remote town that DG's in. You got to marry your bitch.
Me, it's okay. Just Joe and be neighbors, bro. It's all right.
Bro, bro, fuck, hell nah. Bro. Like, I'm marrying rich. Like I said, I was at the top, bro. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna marry somebody. I'm gonna marry me
But
like a,
But if you marry rich, then it's not the point though, because that whole rules have changed, right? Because you still live in a mansion, you have all these things, so like you still
Yeah,
have all the assets in the
that's a
million.
cheat code, bro. Yeah,
but
that ain't
I
fair.
Right.
mean, like, but how could you not marry rich though? Like, if I was at the top for 10
You
years
can't
and I
marry
did
until
get,
after
After there you go. After you blow out all the money, you can't
when you
marry
got
until after.
15K. It's even hard to even date on that. On
Yeah,
that, you
yeah,
know, you're not going to the hot spots after
yeah.
that. Like you know what I'm saying? You got 15K.
I'm,
Damn, Zenas, 10 years
I'm,
ago you was a man, Zenas.
Fuck happened to you?
I'm gonna marry somebody that I met during when my ascent when I was on the top. I'm gonna be like,
Nah,
look,
That's a
nah.
cheat code, bro.
I'm only
Yeah,
making 15,000. I'm only making 15,000 a
Z,
year
what do
now,
you?
but like, hey,
Nah, you
You
can't
can
do that.
either marry the same. She got the
nah,
same amount as you,
nah,
or you can stay single. It's just
you
up.
be.
The choice is yours.
Nah, no, it's right. Z, I
I'm gonna
agree.
Shit,
marry.
bro.
You're taking freedom. I can't marry who I want to marry, bro.
No,
Like
you
that's crazy.
can't because you changed
Nah,
the rules. They
that
changed.
changes the whole energy,
And I,
right? That changes.
I would
That's
take that option too. That's easy. Like,
okay. Then I'm gonna then at that point, I mean, then you just get to live there and you don't have no money. But that's like me saying like, okay, I take the 80 and then I
right,
people
I
can
can,
still give me money and
right,
people, I mean,
I
I
can still
marry somebody
invest.
who's
I can get
500
rid.
million
Yeah,
and she can spend it on
yeah,
me. So I'm still, you know what I mean? Like
right,
it's
Then
right.
you
nah, we
might as well just say you'll be single forever.
definitely not.
You
You
can
can't
just,
afford a wedding yet.
I mean, just get married, get married at a court.
Your
Pretty
year's
much.
salary
Yeah.
is going to be the cost of the
We
wedding.
we we eloping. We eloping. We
You
going to
can't.
the courthouse. We signing them documents. We getting the fuck up out of there.
You're not gonna elope, bro. It's gonna be the same neighborhood. That's not elopement.
Yeah. So you can't do that. Are you still picking the same thing? If you can't do that,
What are you
it's
gonna do?
you just got to marry where you at. You know what I mean? It got to be tough, bro. We're not gonna make it like, bro. If
Yeah,
you could live in a mansion after
right.
living the crazy, you did everything with 50 million a year, bro. In 10
Living a
years,
man, yeah.
you did hit every continent. You did everything, bro. We not. Then you get to just live in the mansion for the rest of your
Right.
life.
High Ferraris and
Nah, bro.
Bugattis,
Yeah,
like
drive her cars and shit. Like we not doing that.
go
That ain't.
out to fancy restaurants. She's Spain,
But
bro. Go to Dubai.
that's the point of being at the top too. Is the fucking network that comes
But
along with
why
it.
you're there
You was an
though?
asshole. You
Why
was an
you're there? But
asshole.
once you fall off, you're done. Like you don't have that
Hmm.
network no more. You know, like you're done. You're at the bottom now. Now you with all the common people. Not no disrespect, but you're at the bottom. You don't have
So
that luxury no
DZ, you
more.
said even if you marry where you at, you still
Yeah,
taking the
I was just
you taking the
thinking. I'm just gonna
50.
like that's because I can imagine for 10 years of having 50 million, just do whatever I want. I feel like that 10 years because I would live life that most people would never ever live for that 10 years, and for that
100%.
reason, I want to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I would take that.
But you got to understand too. You got to understand too. This is the other piece of it, right? If you
Yeah,
are the best in that period, that means you putting in that work too,
right,
though. So you're not just chilling with 50 M's, like
right,
you working, like
right,
you know what I mean. Whatever that is, like you touring or
right.
you
That's
know
what
what I
I'm
mean,
saying.
like you
Right,
playing championships or whatever that is. You
for
working.
10 years. Yeah,
You
but
got your
Yeah,
time off that you get to wild out, but it's
yeah.
not like
yeah.
you just chilling. Like you know,
Uh,
you putting in the work to be the best. You doing 3 a days, and you know what I mean. Like you working.
but that
Three a
sucks though.
days. What is three a
Like
days?
Kobe, you know, didn't he say he used to being work out at 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Then go
I
to
mean,
practice,
once
then
I
do a
love it,
practice
right?
late at night. You know
Right.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
once,
Like
once I love doing what I'm doing, that's dope. But I'm just thinking about, bro, after that, the rest of my life, bro, you get like 15K forever.
15K is nuts, bro.
Damn,
It's
bro.
nuts.
Can
I think I'm still taking it though because like
yeah,
that
yeah.
them 10 years, boy. I'm out here going crazy.
Can
I'm
I,
out here going
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Can I start a business or no? After that, I can't do anything else, huh, Ramon?
you just can make you can, but it's still only net 15K. Whatever it is 15K,
Bro,
bro.
after that, I'm just going to jail. After that.
Bonifa,
Bro, I'm hey, back
Bonifa
in my
said
day,
back
the
in the
back in my day, boy. Hey,
back in
back
my
in my
days,
day.
boy, you won't believe it, boy. You look,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
me.
I'll take the 50M, bro, because it's still like
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
bro.
said. Yeah,
I'm taking it, bro, because
yeah.
at the end of the
What
day,
about
I knew what the top felt like though. Like, you
right,
know, like
right?
I
I was
made it
there,
there.
right? I made
I
it there.
made it
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for 10 years. Yeah. What
yeah.
Yeah,
about what?
I'm taking that, bro.
I was trying, I love to be on the other side of y'all, but I'm on the same side as y'all today, and that's for the reason. That
Right,
is for that reason. It's just like I know I gave I just know the type of person I am, and then, like there's a fire in me that won't
right,
allow me to just kick it like like that. So to know that I put everything like into something and hit the pinnacle of what I wanted to do, and the 50 million is fine. Like I changed my family's life during that
right.
Yeah.
time too, right? Like I changed everybody around me's life. You know what I mean? I was blowing it, but we all experienced this
Damn.
together. We see the story a lot, and it's sad, right? We see the story a lot. To be honest, if I'd have to say, I wish I got the money later, because if I got it young, I'd probably be addicted to some shit. So who knows?
For
50 million a year.
real.
If I got it
Yeah.
at 18, I would have tried some shit I might not have been able to come back from. So I would have hoped that I got it from like I don't know, 30 to
Yeah,
40 or something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? So
damn.
I
Yeah.
would be able to move a little bit different. But yeah,
Damn.
I picked that too, man. Just, that 15K would be hard. But like you said,
So
for
what you
them
We
got?
10
definitely,
years, bro.
if we only get in 10 years, we get to choose what years you get that.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
you get to choose that. Like I'm doing like a
Would it
solid.
change your answer if you couldn't choose the 10?
Yeah, bro. Like what?
So
Because
you
like
get from 60 to 70?
if I get from 60 to 70, bro, I'd be like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is this bullshit, bro? Like
right.
I'd be like, fam,
Oh,
like this is dumb as hell.
oh, man.
So my question for you guys, now that you got pick option number one, right? The 50 mil. So are you guys gonna stay in the US or move with me in the third world country? I just
I'm
want to
good.
know. Cause now,
Yeah, I'm definitely out there with
uh,
you, bro. What?
Nah,
cause I,
bro,
15K?
we outside in
cause,
Africa,
yeah,
bro.
cause
What?
here, here you're gonna be homeless, bro. There's no way you're
Yeah,
gonna be homeless here. Cause no way you're gonna be able to do anything with 15K a year, bro. You'll be homeless here. Might as well just like go
yeah.
to the
I'm
homeless
going.
shelter and stay there.
Yeah,
Going to.
we
Yeah, I'm
we,
going to
we
another
going to
country for
Africa.
sure.
We going to the motherland, man. We going to the motherland. We all gonna put our 15,000 a year together, like, and
Buy some land right next to each
and
other. Buy some land. We got forty
we go
five
we gonna
thousand
figure
dollars.
we gonna figure we got 45,000.
Yeah,
We can do something with this.
for sure.
You could be a fly. Look, Hanifa said you could be. She gonna be a beach bum. You could be a fly beach bum for 15K.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
You
we
know what
said out.
I'm saying? You
Because
know.
I know if I was staying here in the U.S., I wouldn't pick the option because I know it's no way 15K is gonna do anything for me. But if I can go somewhere remote, I know that money could go a long way. I can make it work, right? I'm not gonna be the flyest, but I'm able to like position myself and do more things. Yeah, it's gonna suck, though, because you can't travel no more.
Yeah,
It's like being at the top and then, damn, that's rock bottom, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
From
You. I mean,
TK,
it would be hard, like mentally. I feel like
ooh,
that
man.
crash. That crash. That and
Nah,
it's kind of.
I,
I feel like you.
I,
I feel like you would be crashing out that last year too.
bro,
Cause
yeah,
you'd be
thinking
like,
of,
bro, next year I know I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like I know this is my last year. You'd be crashing out that last year because you'd be like, this is the last year I got it. I gotta. It's all the way up. You know what I'm saying?
nah, bro. Thinking about it,
That next year would be depressing, bro. It would be
I
depressing,
think
bro.
I'll have to pivot now. Thinking about the mental aspect of it, bro.
Bro, the fall off is crazy. Like, of
Yeah,
course, like that's
damn,
the piece that
bro.
comes along with it. To
Especially
go
that you
from
staying in the
50 from
U.S.
to
Yeah,
go from
bro.
50 million to 15,000, bro, is
Yeah,
nuts, bro. Like,
yeah, that.
that's
Yeah, bro.
crazy.
Yeah, I think I changed my answer, bro. I'm thinking the same. I'm sorry.
Nah, bro. I'm sticking to my
Yeah,
guns, man. I'm taking the 50 M's,
I'll
man.
have to stick with 80K, bro. I feel like
To be honest,
Because
man, that
I'm
that
changing lives, bro. Like, I always told you, like, my biggest goal in life is to be a
because
philanthropist.
you
Like,
gotta leave all your family, bro, and move to. I'm just thinking about you gotta leave all your family and friends and just go away. Nah, bro. Yeah. Bro. Nah, yeah. I'll have to change my answer. I'll pivot. I'm going with option two, 80K. Give me that. Yeah. Sorry, I switched. I can't do that, bro.
she said, Neva said you can't even afford therapy. You
Yeah,
just
you
fucked up
can't.
out there.
Yeah, I'm
You just
sorry.
fucked up,
I'm
bro.
sorry. I'm going back. I'm taking the 80K, bro.
The next
That's it.
10 years after those 10 years would be hard,
I'll be
bro.
so depressed, bro. It's
Like you
like,
said, people could come visit you, but it's like you just
yeah,
be out there.
yeah. I
You
think
just be out there, man. It's like
I'll
you
be
just
so
be.
stressed, bro. I don't think I'll be able to do anything just from knowing what I had before to going. Nah, 10, bro. Like 10K, 15K for 50 mil, bro. That's freaking crazy. No, imagine right
yeah,
now,
bro.
bro. Like our life right now, right? Imagine just making 30K. How different your life would be, right? Imagine now 25, right now, where we at right now. So imagine 50 mil.
Nah,
Nah, I'm
then eight.
Jeez.
Okay, we got to change the 80K then,
nah,
because the 80K is not middle of the pack. If
nah,
15,000
nah. Don't change.
15,000
No,
is the bottom.
don't
Nah,
change it. No, 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 no.
80
We
eighty
agree
thousand
upon it.
80,000 is not middle of the pack. 80,000. If we said 15,000 is the bottom, which it is, that's the bottom.
I'm
But
sorry, Mr. Willow. We have
then
to end this live, bro. We don't
middle
got
of the
time.
pack,
We ain't changing it no more.
middle of the pack is like 60,
I'm
60,
sorry.
65. Like that's
I'm,
middle of the pack.
I'm
That's
sorry,
middle of the
Z.
pack.
You pick your answer.
Nah,
We're not changing this,
bro.
bro.
60, 65, like that's middle of the
We
pack.
have to we
That's
have
Nah,
to
what
conclude
middle
this
of the
we're
pack
live.
not
is.
changing it. We're not
80K is
changing it.
not middle of the
We're
pack.
not changing
80K is
it,
not
man.
middle of the fucking pack, bro. Nah, you can't go all the way extreme on that one and then not go stick to
Bro,
this. Nah, fam,
you
what?
have 50 million for 10 years.
uh,
It has to be extreme. You can't just going from 50 million
yeah,
to what
uh,
45K and you just be like, all right, that's
And
cool.
60,
Nah, that's an
65
easy
is the
answer.
middle of the pack.
yeah. Correct. Like Hanif said, eggs are $10, bro. Even 12. We spend like $12
No,
on an
I
egg.
agree. I agree.
Yeah,
80 probably is closer to. It's
yeah,
probably like the median.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
yeah.
Like most
nah,
people, it's not. It's not. I
nah.
wouldn't say the
We
average because
we gonna put some.
most people. What's the median?
What's the median income in 20 in
I
20
mean, it's probably like 45,
And
25?
go
50.
to New York because you out there.
The median
I mean, the U.S. though. You got to
the
look in the U.S. It's
median
54.
income, the median income is 37,585. The median fucking
What,
income
what's
in
the
the
average?
United States.
Average should be like 54K.
That makes sense because a lot more people have less than
Right,
that.
right.
So what's the
Yeah.
average? What's the average?
I think like 64, right?
That's a better answer. That's a better answer.
The average household income in 2025 is $66,622. Like I said, 65. That's what the fuck you get. You don't get 80K. You get
No, you get 80.
$65,000.
You
I'm
get a
sorry,
little bit
Z.
because
You in the middle of the pack.
you gave up on your dream. You gave up
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like
yeah.
being the greatest. You gave up on that.
Right,
You got to get a little stimulus
right,
package for that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
70.
You got to get the stimulus package.
70. You get 70.
Nah,
That's
Z,
it.
you get
70.
80. It's
You get
okay.
70.
85, man.
Why are you mad, bro? You gonna have 50 mil for 10 years. It's okay. I'm just gonna live an average life forever. It's okay. It's okay. Just don't take my 85. I'm good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm still sticking to my guns though. I'm still taking the 50 man.
yeah, I'm
I'm still
thinking 80.
taking the 50 M's,
I'm
man.
thinking 85.
Because
Hey, Hanifa,
I'm
man.
I'm
Hanifa,
I'm
Tracy, I
I'm
need y'all
blessing
to
so
come
many
see me.
people.
Need to see y'all come see me when I got 15,000 in a little
Yeah,
a little spot in you know what I'm saying off the coast somewhere, man. I need y'all to come kick it with your boy, but just know for them 10 years we up,
yeah.
we up. You know what
We
I
Yeah,
mean?
up. We
So
up.
I don't know how I'll be able to process that mentally. So I don't know for that reason, bro. We're not talking from like 100K to like 15. We're not talking about like 80K, 90K, bro. Not 100K. Most people don't even see that money in their lifetime, bro. Knowing that you
That,
at that
that's why
level
I'm
of
saying 80K is not middle of the pack. That's
no,
most people don't see that in their
no.
lifetime.
I was talking about the 50 mil, bro. I'm not talking about 80K. I was talking about the 50 mil. The fact that going from 50 mil to that, bro, that's like a stock being like $3,000, and the next day the price is like a penny. Like that's pretty much how that feels like.
Yeah, literally.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they
So for
got to
that
get
reason,
they got to get that like that tax for giving up on.
yeah.
They don't have no opportunity to make more than that though. Like
Right.
that's it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So yeah,
You're not
I'm
just gonna
thinking.
be giving 66
Yeah,
forever.
I'm
You know
thinking
what
about 80, bro. I'm just gonna invest in my 401k and then
I mean?
save and yeah, that's it. Live an average life. But yeah. But then after 10 years, I will see you guys struggling, and I'll still be like, living a good life. And y'all gonna be in a village
Yeah.
somewhere in Africa. I'm like, Z, y'all wanna come to the States for my birthday? Oh, DG, I can't afford tickets, bro. Sit y'all broke ass over there.
Hey, but it's okay though, because like my legacy is cemented
What
forever.
legacy?
I broke
You better blow all that money, bro. You got no
You
legacy.
blew it though. You blew it though. Remember? Oh, that changes
no,
things.
no, no, no,
Mm.
no, 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 no. You said I could spend it on whatever. I could bless all my people. I could bless all my people. Like I was blowing it, spending it on everybody else. That's what I was doing.
You was
It's
on
the,
you
Let's
spot
say
your
you can spend it on your people, but you can't like donate.
yeah.
Like you can't
You
like
nah.
give back to charitable
No,
organizations.
no, that is y'all are trying to make this one so extreme, and then y'all want to send it over
But
here.
nah, but
No, then you'll only get
no.
65,000.
No, no,
Then
no.
if
Because
you want, if
the
y'all want to
reason
go
I'm saying
extreme
that,
with it,
no, the reason I'm
bro.
saying that is because blowing it isn't. I don't think giving to charity is blowing it.
right.
But I get to spend my money however the fuck I want to, though.
You
Is what
blew
I'm
it. Now,
saying.
oh, he said you blew it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. You got to spend
I
because
mean,
at the end of the day, you
I
can't keep
mean,
it. You
blowing
can't
me like
keep
you didn't
it.
have nothing though, because like that's blowing it like just like you hear about like people get
That's
rich and
literally
blew
why
it.
MC. That's why MC Hammer went broke because he ended up having to fucking take care of his whole family. He blew it for that exact same
Yeah,
reason. So
yeah.
you
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 blew
get
it
to
like
spend
that.
it.
Yeah, you
I
don't
get
have
to,
anything
but
else.
I get to spend it on whatever I want to. If I'm making 50 M's a year, bro, I get to spend it however the fuck I want to, bro. Like what the fuck y'all talking about, bro? Hell no,
Well, what?
that's
Nah, better
crazy.
question was before we wrap, man. What year are you taking those though? What year are you taking your 10
You gotta
years?
be like 20 to 30 at least, or
I'm
30 to 40.
I'm taking like a solid. I'm taking like 27 and 37.
That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
I'm taking like a 20 solid 27 to 37.
Yeah, or 25 to 35 would be a good one.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah,
Actually,
but at
28 to
20,
30, 28, 38. Final answer.
that's the exact answer I was thinking. 28 to
Yeah,
38.
that's a
You know what I'm
good one.
saying?
Yeah.
But your 40th birthday gonna be hard though, boy.
I'm gonna be in Africa. I'm gonna be in Africa. I'm gonna be like, look,
That
y'all gotta
40th,
fly. Y'all gotta come to me, man. We gonna celebrate. We gonna be. We going up out
There you
here,
hey,
go,
man. Y'all gotta
going
come to
up,
me.
big
bro.
that
We
big
met.
4-0 gonna be hard though. Oh man. Man,
There,
yeah, man. This is
Yeah.
always one of my favorite parts of the episodes too, man.
My legacy cemented, baby. I broke records. I
You
blessed
did
all my people. I
yeah, you did it.
donated. I did everything I wanted to. I,
nah,
I,
you blew it out
I
with
take it.
strippers,
I'll
bro.
take it. Nah, that's not. That's. I mean, now I was. Yeah,
Some
hell yeah, you got damn right.
of it.
I'm sure.
Some
I'm
of it.
sure at
Most of
some
it.
point,
Most of it.
the strippers will. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, I love the
Because you
strippers,
can't give it if you just gonna give it to your family, that's different. But you just blow on just bullshit
bro.
cars
You
and then
get to
everything.
spend it on whatever you want to, bro. That's the
Right,
point of like having 50 M's a damn every
right.
year.
We'll go with that. We'll give you that. But
Yeah,
still,
I get to
I for
spend it
you,
how I want to.
you'll be a bum, so it's okay.
That's fine.
Oh, to the episode where they are now.
I'm
Oh
in
my
Africa,
god.
baby. I'm
Them
in Africa,
unsung,
baby.
them unsung episodes be nuts.
Yeah,
Me and Z be on there like, man, I had it all.
yeah, yeah. 10 years. Nah, you see, consistent, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, bro. So for that reason, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, but like you said, living an average life, bro. And my thing
I
is
mean,
like,
80K is not average
A little
because a
bit
lot of people
above
like,
average.
yeah, because 80K is
80K is
dope,
a little
bro.
bit above. We'll say
Because
it's a little bit above.
if you invest in like full 1K correctly, you can like have over close to 1 million, bro. If you like, when you're like 60, 65. So it depends.
I
If
think
you invest 80K,
I'm keeping my answer, but I do think that the 80K life is a lot more healthy life.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
absolutely,
like
absolutely.
it's a better quality life when you look at
mm-hmm.
the whole span of it. Because like let's say you live to be 80,
Right,
bro. For
yeah,
40 to 80 is gonna be a hard life at
yeah.
15K. You know what I'm saying? And it say, like we talking about like I don't know
Healthcare, nothing, yeah,
20 years old to 80 years old, you making 80K. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like you could like
You gotta do a
so
lot, man. You can set yourself
it
up.
is, like to be honest, you would live a lot healthier life
Right.
throughout that. You know what I mean?
Because
Like for
for
sure.
40 to 80,
Yeah,
bro, y'all motherfuckers gonna be poor as fuck, bro. No healthcare, nothing. Like, yeah, shit,
I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
absolutely, and I agree.
yeah.
Right? But like, I think that's the thing about greatness, though, is like, right? You risk it
You ain't
all,
gonna
like,
be great
right?
being broke, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be in the village in Africa, bro. You ain't great.
Bro, I broke all the records. I cemented all that shit. What are you talking about?
Talking about great.
80K
Sit your
is
five,
a good life.
sit your
80K is
five
a good
thousand
life.
dollars out. Sit your $5,000 ass down somewhere in Africa, talking about you great.
And you get paid bi-weekly.
I'm done, bro.
My God, that's stupid, man.
Yeah. Bro, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85. Damn. All right, we out,
Yeah,
man. It's a good
yeah,
one.
this a wrap on that, man. But I do want to say before we got it here, man. So it won't be next Monday, but the Monday after that, we should be doing this episode live from the motherland, man. So,
That's dope,
so
bro.
that's gonna be really dope, man. Remote Escapes trip is coming up in um about two
Yeah,
weeks,
2 weeks.
man.
Y'all
Just
gonna
just over 2 weeks, right? Or just
Yep.
over a week. I'm tripping.
Just
I'm
over a
tripping.
yeah,
week, bro.
Just over a
Just
in
week,
the
over a
man.
week.
Just
turn, right? Y'all going
under
to turn, yeah.
2 weeks, man. You know what I mean? So, it's a beautiful thing. And even coming out with us, man, we're gonna be
That's
in the motherland, man. We doing this thing the right way, man.
that's
So,
dope.
hey,
That's
man.
dope, bro. Yeah. Just want to say shout out to everybody who joined the live.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who was engaging. Tracy, appreciate you. Nephi, everyone who joined the live. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
We'll
Always
be here next
appreciate y'all
month.
tapping in, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be here next week, Monday.
We'll
We'll
see y'all next Monday.
be on time.
We'll
All right.
we'll be back on our regular schedule. So,
Shout out to y'all boys, man. Y'all broke motherfuckers.
hey, hey.
We out.
All right,
All
y'all.
right, y'all.